A virus is not really a living organism. It's just a genetic material, either DNA or RNA, surrounded by a protein coat that can replicate. And this is what we call a virus. All viruses have a receptor on their envelope, and they can recognize their host cell and get into it. And then by different mechanisms, they can make the host cell replicate the genome, generate viral proteins, and basically make the cell a viral factory that will now generate hundreds or thousands of new viruses that will bud out the cells and will infect new cells. So this is the common thing for all viruses. Flu is an RNA minus virus and coronavirus is an RNA plus virus. This actually means that the replication cycle will be very different when they go into the cell, and the way they will hijack the cell machinery will be different. So for example, coronavirus never gets into the nucleus of the cell, where is all the genetic material of the cell lays in, whereas influenza virus actually does get there. So corona can do what it's doing in the cytosols because it's actually a much bigger virus that comes with more of its machineries. Basically, the fact that we never met this coronavirus means no one has antibodies against the virus. No one ever had a response to it. And so once people will get infected, they will generate these antibodies, and this will prevent from a second infection to occur. And if there will be enough people that are infected, this means that the propagation of the virus will come to its end. We know what needs to be done, and this virus is not going to be very difficult to get a vaccine against. It just takes a lot of time. You need to do all the clinical trials. You need to move to mass production, and these processes take a long time. And the principle in vaccine is quite simple. We basically inject to the body something from the virus. And then our immune system sees this virus. It learns to recognize different proteins or signatures and develop antibodies against these features. And now when we will meet the real pathogen, we already have these antibodies that will help our cells to fight infection and basically increasing the likelihood we will win the virus. I would just want to emphasize that even if we are not vaccinated, eventually most of the people will develop this immunity. So what vaccine is actually doing is just helping us to do it in advance. And then our response is just much, much stronger and quicker, and we prevent the disease symptoms. We know it's going to be a rough year because we have to handle this new infection. But we have strong scientists, and we have a lot of scientific knowledge, and we will cope with that. And I think spending more in basic research will make us more prepared to the next pandemic.